All right, all right. It is almost New Year's, and let's kick this off starter. Hey, what's up? Welcome to Crypto League. I am Connor. I'm going to be helping you today, learning about mining, trading, and investing. Which one is going to give you the best profit? Which one is going to be like the most, let's say, less headache, and everything of that sort. So this is actually my friend's mining rig right now at the office. As you can see, let me take the camera over there. Move you a little bit, right? All right. So bear with me, and it is a little loud, not too loud, but the main thing is really, really hot right now. Like usually the room is in here is like 65 degrees, it's probably like 85, and I just got back from Georgia, which is pretty cool. But yeah, as you can see, this was about on Bitman.com. I think it's only about like 2 grand, but because they're sold out, I think this one's 3,500. Pretty easy setup, nothing big. You just got the main power core, and you got the main, I think that's the GPU, that's the ASIC miner. So it's mining Litecoin right now, but you can use it to mine any of the script mining pools, or if you use the Bitcoin one, which is the SHA-256, that can be used to like mine Dogecoin and other stuff, right? But I want to talk to you primarily about, especially if you're new and stuff like that, what do you want to get into? Because a lot of people right now are coming to this industry, but they don't realize like um, what to do. They're following everybody's steps because everybody else is doing it right. Because like right now, everybody's buying Ripple just because everybody else is buying Ripple, and they don't realize that Ripple is actually very expensive. For $2, with a market cap of about 40 billion, I believe Ripple right now has. Yeah, they have. I mean, they have 40 billion, and it's right now the market cap is almost 80 billion, right? And it's very expensive. And people are just it's dumb money, and people are gonna get wrecked, and they don't realize that. And I want to be able to help you and guide you through your journey, so that way you realize, oh man, just because a coin is $1 doesn't make it cheap, or just because a coin is $15,000 doesn't make it expensive, right? And people don't realize that the new money's coming in just just for the money. They're not coming here for the education or the technology. A lot of people are saying, it's a bubble and all that crap because they don't know what they're doing. It's miseducation, it's misinformed, not doing their own research, listening to everybody else, listening to the news. I have never actually watched the news about Bitcoin ever, unless it's just on TV, like if I'm walking by somewhere. But I would never turn on the news because it's all propaganda. It's fake. A lot of people are showing now. People are going on CNBC just to tell about other people their coin, and people don't realize like Ripple, right? I will never invest in Ripple. I just sold all of my Ripple. I didn't know back then it was what it's good for, but it's a centralized bank banking company, and that's the whole reason for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies to get away from them, right? Now, if you want to technically speak, the only really the only decentralized coin is Bitcoin. Ethereum has a face to it, Litecoin has a face, most of them have a face to it, but it's the concept that they provide, right? So like Litecoin, people bought Litecoin a couple months ago. I mean, about a month ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, because they saw that Coinbase, Bitcoin was too expensive, Bcash was too expensive, um, Ethereum, they have no idea what Ethereum even means or what it does. But they say, oh, Litecoin, $100, I'm going to buy a whole bunch of those. And they don't realize that, hey, Litecoin is 4 times faster than Bitcoin. They pretty much have the same protocol, same code. It's cheaper to transact. So it's kind of like the son of Bitcoin. You don't realize that. So let's get into talk about mining first. And I'm going to share the screen with you, show you some math. So it's not just all of my opinions, but rather real concrete stuff that you can learn from and see which one you want to choose. I know some people who do all three. They do mining and investing and trading. For me right now, I'm just doing trading and investing. Now, no, of course, like the long-term coins like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, usually those are going to be for investing or your ICOs, your initial coin offerings, and you get them for like a couple of cents, even $1. Then you wait till you get like, usually you get 5x. If you want to do 100x, I mean, not 100x, I know someone will do 100x, which is great. But if you want to do 100% just cash out, pretty much it's just free money, right? It's free rolling money. All right, so let's go to screen share, and I'm going to show you compare a little bit of stuff. All right, so the first thing you want to do is it's a website called CryptoCompare.com, and it's mining. So you put in your hashing power, your power consumption in your kilowatt, right? So like in Venezuela, certain places, it's cheaper in America. So America, I think, is about 12 cents on the kilowatt per hour. Some of them are 3. So I know like China is 3. So you have to do your profits. Then you have to pick your hashing power. Usually on websites like Genesis Mining or HashFlare, you have to pay extra for those. So the average right now is let's just do a Bitcoin, right? Because that's the most popular. So like on Bitman.com, you can get it I think for 13.4. So this is how much you would be making per month, pretty much, for you. So you're not even making one Bitcoin. Now you have to look at the underlying principle, okay? Because look, it's for the long run. So let's say Bitcoin was to 10x in 3 years, right? So pretty much you would be making 600. So per month you would be in 3 years when Bitcoin is supposedly supposed to be $100,000. Well, let's just say 10x what it is right now, right? So we do that times 10. So you would be pretty much making $6,750 per month because remember you're holding onto Bitcoin. This is the investing part. Now, of course, you might want to use it to invest in ICOs and other coins, but I want to talk to you about primarily mining it and holding it because that's what most miners do. Is they hold these coins and they keep them. Right now, this could be used for Litecoin, Monero, any of those, but we're going to stick to Bitcoin for now. Now, let's just say a profit per year. And remember, it depends on also the mining pool. So if we want to look at the difficulty of the mining pool, if we go to just type in Bitcoin mining as a blockchain in Bitcoin. It's going to tell you pretty much right now how many of them are not being unconfirmed transaction right now. So you pick this one, it's going to tell you how many unconfirmed transactions there are within the mempool right now. So about 175,000. That's a lot, folks. That is a lot. So if you want to take your advantage to this, you will actually be making more because we don't have it. There isn't enough miners, pretty much, to say. There's just too many people. With the holidays coming in, family members telling each other, and it's too cluttered. That's why Bittrex, GDAX, Gemini, Bitstamp, all of those are just taking so long to confirm. Like for my Bittrex, it took me 20 seconds, pretty much. I went in there, I signed up, and I confirmed it the same day. Nowadays people are waiting literally 2 weeks, 3 weeks just to confirm their transaction. I mean, just to get their account verified. And it's frustrating because now we're seeing the early adapters coming to the mainstream because they see it. Oh man, Bitcoin is $15,000, $20,000. Now we want to get serious. But when Bitcoin was $100, or even $1,000, or even $8,000, people were like, "No, it's a joke. It's a joke." And then they see like, "Oh shit, it's actually for real now." And folks, even though it was $20,000, like a month, not even a month ago, and it's at $15,000 right now, Bitcoin has went up over 1,500%, over like 2,000%. No stock or dividend has ever done that ever. All right, so go back to the calculator. You can pick. These are just the top ones. So for like Bitcoin, you can do Dogecoin. There's a website. If you just type in like SHA-256 mining, or you can that's the Bitcoin pretty much one, and then you can type in script mining coins. It's gonna tell you which coins you can mine. Which some of them are very profitable, like Dogecoin right now, right? Dogecoin within this month in December has done amazing. I mean, some people were getting 6x, 8x returns. It's just insane. And so it's all based on cost average, right? You have to look at the utility bills. You have to look at maintenance fee that you have to take care of pretty much, because when you get into these, if you have a bunch of mining rigs, right, you're gonna have to check on these almost every other day just to make sure everything's up and running, the fans are cool, and stuff like that. Now, if you do online like Genesis or HashFlare, you have to pay a little bit more for premium because you're paying them to take care of it. I would not recommend right now to do Genesis because of the fact that it's just you have to put in a lot of money, right? Mining right now is not very profitable unless you have like a ton of mining rigs, and this is all you do, and you're dedicating your whole pretty much your whole space, and you have really cheap electricity, right? Imagine you like right now at my co-working space, the electricity is including the $700 bill, right? So let's say you have like 15 miners in here, And usually the Litecoin right now it's about $60 per month. The Bitcoin one I believe was about 105, something like that. But let's say you have zero, right? So you would make a little bit more, right? You see how it goes up a little bit. But let's just say like you in a different country, it was only 3 cents. 3 cents, right? So you have to look at your calculations and see where it's going to go from here. It's pretty cool because it tells you where your cost per month, per week, how much Bitcoin you're mining per year. So you're not even getting a whole coin per year. It keeps decreasing. Now, of course, you can keep increasing your hashing power and stuff like that. Let's say you had 10 of these miners, right? So all you would do is just put another zero and see where we go. So yeah, you would, if you have 10 of these, you would mine this much per month, that much per year. Then you just average dollar cost. Okay, how much did I buy the miners for? Usually on Bitmain right now, they're going for, I believe, $2,000. You can only pay in Bcash. Now, if you go on eBay, because they're sold out on Bitmain, right, you're going to pay more premium, usually double to triple the price. Plus, you have to wait for the shipping and everything. So now let's look at investing. What if you would just do hold on to Bitcoin and see where it went? All right, so let's go into the chart. Remember I told you about CoinMarketCap. I did like a whole video on this, how to use it, how to look it up, how to take advantage of it and everything. Okay, so let's look at CoinMarketCap and let's look at the investment. All right, we can exit that off because we don't need it. Okay, not sure why it's taking so long. Okay, so let's do a year to date. Year to date. So that way we make it, keep it simple. All right, so Bitcoin at this time was probably about $900 last year, right? Okay, let's see how much it was. Okay, so Bitcoin was about, okay, yeah, we can say $950, and right now it is Bitcoin is $15,000 per se. So you would have 15x your profit, right? Let's just say $1,000 just to make it even. 1,000 times 15. So you would have 15x your profit just by holding. Just by holding. Let's say you put one Bitcoin into this back then. You put $1,000 into it back then, and a miner back then was pretty much $1,000 because they keep raising it. So a miner was about $1,000, maybe even less, right? So if you would have put $1,000 into this miner, now of course my math could be a little bit wrong because it's probably not going to be to the exact. So you'll have to do your own just to make sure. But let's look at the hashing power, right? Let's look at that. Right, because the difficulty, remember, is based on the difficulty. Back then, it wasn't as difficult, so you probably would have mined more Bitcoin back then, right? So now, let's say you, to be honest, it's kind of hard to really tell. Actually, hold on, because it keeps increasing, and remember, every 4 years, Bitcoin keeps halving. So the difficulty is going to be even harder. So the last Bitcoin will be mined in the year 2040. And supposedly they say by the year 2030, 99% of the Bitcoin will be mined. And it will take that long just to mine the last Bitcoin. All right. So it would take you, so looking at this chart right now, right? It would take you a year just to mine a little bit over half of a Bitcoin, right? Just based on this calculation. So that means what is 66% of 15,000? That's not very good at math because school sucked. So it would roughly be about $10,000 right there. So let's say roughly $10,000. So according to this chart, if everything was aligned, you would have came out with $5,000 just by investing. Not to mention, you had to spend $500 to $1,000 just for the mining, and then on top of that, your electricity costs, your maintenance costs, your Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So we can say, just for the purpose of it, $9,000 compared to 15,000. So you're gonna make back 6,000 more just on investing, and this is actually very, very true. My mentors, and I've been doing a lot of the math, and people who just held onto the Bitcoin pretty much would have made more money. Now, like, of course, like I was mentioning, the more miners you have, the more you're gonna make in the long run, because you can do more hashing power, you can mine more stuff like that. I'm not an expert in mining, to be honest with you. So if you want more expertise on that, go get it from probably like somebody else who does it a lot. But a lot of the people I know, they usually don't mine because it's not as profitable as you would think. Unless you were back then when you were mining, when people could easily mine, one Bitcoin a day, even a month, even a week, where it was worth it. Like in China, they're the number one place for mining Bitcoin. I don't know now, based on the fact that it's more regulated. But back then, people were mining literally like $20 million in Bitcoin per year. Some of them were doing $1 million per month, sometimes even $10 million per month, because they just had like thousands and thousands of miners, and electricity was cheap over there. Now, let's talk about trading. Um, over the long run, is trading worth more than Bitcoin and stuff like that, right? Okay, so let's look at the trading volume. Going back to CoinMarketCap. Okay, so trading is a little bit more challenging to explain just for the fact that everybody has a different way of trading. They have a different portfolio. They have a different plan. They have a different risk. Believe it or not, most traders end up losing. 99% of traders actually lose money their first year of trading. Believe it or not. Fortunately for me, it was both scenarios for that. I made money trading. I actually made a lot of money trading, but I lost a lot of it due to mostly scams and bad investments. Because when I got into cryptos, a lot of people took advantage of me. I didn't know what I was doing, and so that's usually the case. And you learn a lot more. But my portfolio has went up almost 2,000% within this year of trading. So if you want to do the math, you can put any number into it. You want to put $1 into it, times 2,000%. Just use your imagination how much it went up. But yeah, even if you could do 100% a year in your portfolio, that's so much better than the stock market. So much better than even with forex. It's hard to get 100x. 100 times your profit. Not 100 times, 100%, which is 2x that year, just to keep it. All right, so let's talk about trading a little bit, because remember, going back to all the aspects of it. So let's pick a coin that did really, really good. Let's use Stellar. Right? Because this is the thing that's gonna help you or hurt you the most. When it comes to trading, it's a lot about the market, right? Let me show you what I mean by that. See that? See that sheet right there? I'm gonna tell you this 100 times again, pretty much in every single video, because I want you to get used to this. And my mentor taught me this. He uses this every single time. This is what's happening right now. Is people are buying up here. The new traders, even the investors, they're buying up here, right? And what's happening is that as the prices keeps going down, they get really scared and they start selling. So people who bought Bitcoin when it was like $19,000, $20,000 got really scared and sold it when it was like 15,000, 12,000. And then they don't realize that the market is going through its patterns and its phases, the market cycle right here, right? So it has to do the same thing again. And what's happening is they're now holding on to their coins because they think that it's going to keep going down because they haven't been taught. We call this dumb money. So for instance, Ripple. I invested in Ripple. I'm going to go back to Ripple because of the fact that I just heard about it and it was cheap. But now I don't have any Ripple because I don't believe in the project. I don't like what it's doing. Right now it's actually very expensive. It was less than a penny, not even a year ago, and now all the dumb money is buying it because they think it's cheap, which is sad because most people are going to be getting into cryptocurrency just for the money instead of the technology and the innovation and what you can do for the future, right? So let's do year to date. I bought Ripple when it was, I believe, less. It was less than. I bought Ripple when it was 19 cents. And I sold it for around $1.20, $1.24. Okay, so a year ago, see that Ripple was only worth 0.006. and it went all the way to $2. Folks, that's over like I can't even comprehend the math. That's over 200x, pretty much, right? So this would have been great. You would have made a ton of money trading this, right? You would have made a ton of money. Now these are different charts. The gold is for Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin value, and then the green is for fiat, so like USD, because that's the most popular one right now. And so if you would have invested back in January, now to today, $2.04. Was it $2.21? Unbelievable. But here's the thing. What if Ripple's right here right now? People think it's gonna keep going because the market has to correct itself, right? Because Ripple was up to $1, I think like $1.10, and then it would drop down to 80 cents. And people who bought at $1.10, you know, they sold the Ripple at 90 cents, thinking it was gonna keep going up, but it didn't. Same with Bitcoin, like I was telling you. Actually, any coin, pretty much. A Litecoin, people got into Litecoin when it's 350 bucks, right here. Then it dropped down to 250 bucks. Some, you know, last week it even went down as far as $140, 160 bucks, I believe. So trading, you can make a lot, or you can make none, or you can lose a lot. So the best way to put it here is looking at the scenario. Okay, is what's your plan? Most people that come into here, they have no agenda. They they don't know what they're doing, and they're just here blindly just for the money because they see everybody else doing it. They see that, oh man, Chris just got in it. You know, he made $100 from Ripple. I'm going to put this much in. I'm going to make $100, and then all of a sudden, they have no idea where their money went. They have no idea how to log in. They don't know what a 2FA is. They don't know what even Bitcoin is. They haven't read the white paper. They don't even know who Satoshi Nakamoto is. And you know, we're going to get a lot more early adapters. Right now, we went from pretty much 1% market cap, and by the end of 2018, I believe we will have 10% of the world in cryptocurrency. Not just know about it. I'm probably 20% to 25% will know about it, but the 10% will actually have invested, whether it's in Bitcoin, Litecoin, some kind of cryptocurrency. And folks, we're talking about, you know, Bitcoin is what most people know. Whatever's on Coinbase is usually what people know because it's the most popular, like Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and then eventually Ripple is in some other places like Bitstamp and stuff like that. But I'm talking about like people who actually want to trade and invest in like coins, like ICOs. There are literally thousands, and there's going to be more and more coming. In fact, each day there's over 30 new ICOs being released into the market. Yet we only hear about one or two of them because a lot of them don't have anything to put out into the world. They're just there to raise money. It's just a concept. Nothing really good comes out of it just because they want to make money. Yeah, you can make a quick buck. One of my buddies, not really my buddy, but someone I follow on YouTube, kind of sometimes, you know, he put 20 grand into ICO, which is like the Korean Ethereum, when it was like less than a penny, I believe, or something like that. But anyways, it's worth almost $6 right now. He made over $1 million from that. And that's the great thing about ICOs, like was it Populous? You know, someone put in when it was less than $1, and you put in like 2 grand into that, and it's now $40. Look at the returns of that. That's why trading can be so lucrative. And believe it or not, trading is where you can make the most money, but also you can get wrecked the most, right? Like in some of the exchanges, I lost $5,000 in one day because I got greedy. I didn't really understand what I was doing, and I was like, I was becoming a pig basically. A pig is somebody that becomes really greedy. They want more and more and more, and then eventually they get wrecked. But the thing is, here's a sure way to figure out how you're going to get the best return. Mining, you're going to be guaranteed a return on mining. It might take you 2 to 3 months to get your profit back, depending on what coins you're mining, how many people are getting into it. So like right now, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin are very good for mining because there's not enough miners, and there's more and more people. Like just like Coinbase has over 100,000 new people per day, and I think they said on Christmas they had over 1 million people. January they're probably gonna have 500,000 people, and that's just Coinbase. We're not talking about Bitstamp. We're talking Gemini, those Korean exchanges, the European exchanges. Uh, The South American exchange is a bit so. Mexico, they put Litecoin up there. So there's so many factors to put in. Now, so that's like I guess you can say that's the easy way of putting in money. But yeah, there's some upfront costs. You got to buy a miner. You got to look at your electricity bill. You got to look at the maintenance. If you can't be there, then you got to look at, how hot is the room going to be. You have to turn on the heat, the AC, and all that cool stuff, right? And then talk about the investing part. Investing is probably the one that you don't have to do anything. As long as you have Wi-Fi and some money, you just invest in the coin. But investing takes time, right? Okay, let's say you put the new ICO because it's over 30 per day. That's over 1,500 per month. So you only have to choose one right one, right? So like my mentor, he picked Power Ledger. It was under a penny, I believe, and he got in. He sold it when it was like $1. So he 100x his return. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, there will be more millionaires made the cryptocurrency industry than any industry in the world ever, and you have that chance. Yet at the same time, I want to be able to help you be educated to realize like it's more than just the money, folks. Money literally comes and goes. If you understand what money really was, how it worked, and where it came from, and stuff like that, you would be actually really mad and also very sad how it came into play and how certain people have these certain powers to control it. While the masses, like you and I, are pretty much their guinea pigs. We're being slaughtered left and right, and we're making them rich based because they don't do anything. That's why you see government. That's why you see all the bigger groups. They're getting into blockchain and cryptocurrency. Now they want to regulate it. They want to tax it because they see that for once in the world, people are actually waking up and putting their money to something that isn't going to be used to bomb places that they have no business being in. It's not going to be used for corruption. It's not going to be used for electing people that we didn't want in the office in the first place, right? So there's going to be a lot more to the education part. That's why I love the fact that colleges now are incorporating blockchains into their universities and showing and teaching the students, hey, what is blockchain? What is it going to do for the future? How does it impact it? How does it make it a better place and stuff like that? Now we have meetings. If you go to like Eventbrite, if you go to Meetup, you're going to see more blockchain and Bitcoin groups, and they're like almost everywhere now. I was thinking about doing my own, but I have my own business to run, and I can do it from there and stuff like that. Plus, this is kind of a way for me to get back to y'all and stuff like that. But it's really, you got to look more than just passing money. And I know money is a big motivating factor for a lot of people, especially when they can see that they can 2x, 3x in literally a month, a week, maybe even a day sometimes. All right. So back to investing again. So if you put in a coin, let's say Bitcoin, right? Back then you would have made 15x your return. When you put $1,000 in, you made back $15,000. That's great. But what coin do you know how to invest in, right? Remember my other video I talked about. You got to look at the team. You got to look at the developers. Do they have a working project? What is it going to do in the future? Have you looked at any of their interviews? Have you read into their profiles? Is this coin like any other coin? What does the community say about it? A whole bunch of those things. So you have to really do your research and see, man, does this coin have any potential use? Like Ethereum blew up from, I think it was like $7 last year to over $700 because Ethereum is like the gateway for the ICOs. 99% of the ICOs that come out, they use Ethereum for a smart contract to buy the other coins. Now, sometimes they'll take Bitcoin, Dash, and some other ones, but Ethereum, pretty much is 99% of it are going to take Ethereum. That's why Ethereum did so well, right? Now, say for trading part, right? Again, trading, you can make literally $100,000, 100,000x, whatever you're making in the long term if you know what you're doing. But again, when it comes to trading, there's just so many coins, right? You got to look at the sentiments. You got to look at sometimes the fundamentals, a lot of the TA. Who are you following? Just people on Twitter and YouTube just because they pump and show coins? Now, it's great, to help with your confidence at first. I would honestly recommend that. Following some groups just to get the hang of it, get in there, make some money, get that confidence, and then play with money that you can lose. Like me, for what I did, like literally all the money I can play with right now, I can lose because I made so much back that, I mean, I don't want to lose it, of course. I already lost more than I need to. Right? I was telling you in my other video, I could already became a millionaire cryptocurrency holder if I would have just literally just held onto my coins instead of just trading. But it's the skill and the mentality that you get from it, right? Learning about each coin, learning about what they do for the world, learning about how they're going to help, and at the same time, it's going to make you a better trader, right? Plus, I'm not a very patient guy. I can be patient when it's time to need it. So you got to look at your strength and look at where what category you want to fall in. And of course, you can adapt to it as time goes by. So, for instance, you just wanted to invest, but then you're like, man, I really see that a lot of these people making a lot of good money. They're also investors. Why don't I do that as well? Why don't I tell people, look, if you're starting out new, invest in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. Hold them there, don't touch them, and then as time goes by, study, learn to trade, and then that way you're not losing money with those three main ones because you can never go wrong with three main ones. And then as time goes by, you can be learning how to trade and playing with money that you can lose. Because a lot of people are just putting the money where they, where they don't have any idea what the coin does. And yeah, they could make money, but it's like they're not getting anything out of it. They don't know what's going on. It's like getting married just because someone's good looking or because somebody has a lot of money. You have no idea who that person really is. You have no idea, what their background was. And unfortunately, that's usually how it is with the world these days. And a lot of times, planned marriages and stuff like that, people see what they believe instead of the other way around, which is sad because that's usually how society has taught us. And that's something I would love to help people move away from. Is look at the deeper picture, right? Like for instance, Ripple when I bought it for 19 cents, it went up, then it went back down again. I lost. No, it was actually no, it was IOTA. Sorry, IOTA I bought for like 92 cents, right? So IOTA went, it didn't move for 3 months, and it tanked all the way down to 33 cents. If I would have sold, I would have lost 330%, something like that, right? No, I would have lost. I invested 500 into it. I would have lost $330, something like that. But here's the thing. I did some research. I saw that IOTA was being talked now. It was getting into the not the mainstream, but getting into the more of the blockchain media. Right? People were talking about it. They were talking about having deals with Microsoft, which never went through. But then look at it now. It went all the way up to $5, but now it's at about $3.80. So I made it over 4x on that because I'm still holding on to every single piece of IOTA I have. In fact, I think I bought more when it was like around $2 or something like that. So that's the thing about it, right? So that's about when it comes to trading. Look, sometimes you have to look at that risk and reward factor. If I want to risk 20% and I make back 60%, is it worth it? For me, I risked what 60%, but I made back 240%, something along that range. So you have to look at yourself and see how comfortable, how much of a risk you're willing to take. Now, of course, you have a family, you have people that depend on you, and stuff like that. I probably wouldn't take like more than 20% or anything like that to invest in Bitcoin or cryptocurrency because you're gonna notice you're gonna be very stressed out if you play with money that you shouldn't be playing with. Let's put it this way, because when you hear people renting out their mortgages, taking out their credit card line to invest in Bitcoin because everybody told them to, then all of a sudden Bitcoin went all the way down, and they sold it, and then next month Bitcoin went all the way up. If they would have held it, they would have got more back. Right? So that's why I say education is so important. I'm going to keep reiterating this every single video because the more you hear something, the more it's going to get ingrained in you. It's called, some people call it programming, but to me, it's just education, letting you guys know like what's really going on. Because, folks, the real money is made in the technology, made in investing in the right companies. That's why Warren Buffett invests only like in I think it's like 5 companies, like Geico, Wells Fargo, his own Coca-Cola. Look, he could have invested in Apple. He could have invested in Amazon. He could have invested in all those companies, but he didn't. That wasn't his specialty. He didn't know about those. So, like for me, if I invest in a coin, I look at like pretty much what I told you. I look at the team. I look at if they have a project. I make sure that the communities is aligned with them, and of course, I make sure that they're not centralized like Ripple, right? Ripple. I could have held on to Ripple and made tons more money because I know Ripple is just going to keep going up because all the dumb money is going to get into it. And people have no idea why they're investing in Ripple just because everybody else is doing it. So just some recommendation for you is just, of course, do your own research, man up, have some skin in the game because if you follow people blindly just because they buy this coin or because they invested over there. Like I was actually gonna get a miner, believe it or not, but then I was like, you know what? I could be making way more money with what I have, right? Because let's put it this way: a miner right now is about $2,000 if you can even get one. So let's just say realistically, $3,500 on eBay. It comes next week or even in a month. So that $3,500 that I had to wait for a whole month, I could have used that money to invest in a coin that would have already 2x my return. So that $3,500, if I did my research, I looked at the team, I asked my coaches and my mentors, I went around, made sure that they had a working product or whatnot. Then even if I made 30%, I could have got back, more than a week from trading in that coin, go back and forth and stuff like that. So there's a lot to think. I know this video is actually pretty short because of the fact that we could spend literally 2 hours per section diving really deep, saying, okay, is mining really the best choice? Is trading really the best choice? Is investing really the best choice? But really, when it comes down to it, it's all about what is your game plan, right? Just like when you go to the gym, you don't just pick up a random weight, and if you can tell the people who just were there in the beginning and never had no idea what to do, they just pick up random weights, they start testing it out, and then next thing you know, they leave the gym in like 10 minutes. But the people who are serious, you can see them, running on their books, uh, listening to a certain kind of music, going to the same spot every single day, and working on the same place every other day, right? Because they have that ritual that they know what they're doing. And it's the same with trading. In fact, my mentor was just telling me sometimes you're just gonna make one trade a year, and that's gonna be that $1 million trade. Most of the time, remember, it's just studying, researching, and researching. Because all you gotta do is just make one right move. Mark Cuban says that. Look, I made one right move. I made one right decision in my life, and that made me a billionaire. And that's all you need to do. You can fuck up a trillion times. Not that you can do it a trillion times, but the more you screw up, the more you're gonna realize that you're gonna have more confidence, but you're also gonna be more aware and experienced. But the best traders have lost millions and millions of dollars. I have already lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in trading. If you compare it to Bitcoin value, pretty much. But I lost, tens of thousands of U.S. dollars in trading and investing in the blockchain crypto community industry. So this is just me helping you out, letting you know, okay, what are your choices? Can you do all three? Sure. I'm doing trading and investing right now. I have some long-term coins that I've been holding on over for a year now, and I'm just going to keep holding on to it because the fact that I know that they're just going to keep growing, and my interest is just going to compound and compound to the point where I pretty much never have to do really work again. I can just live off that interest rate from those coins that I've been making, because as the Bitcoin value goes up, they go up. Because remember, you have to think in percentages now, Satoshis, right? The Bitcoin value, even if you look at the Bitcoin chart, right? Let me show you. 1 second. So remember the chart. See how there's two different charts? You got the Bitcoin chart, which is the goal right here, and you got the USD chart. You see how it's just flatlining almost right here? But then if you look at the Bitcoin chart, it's actually going down because Bitcoin keeps going up and up in value, while fiat keeps going down and down in value. So you have to look at both ways, right? Are you looking to cash out in fiat, or are you looking to stick for the long term in Bitcoin? And of course, if Bitcoin drops in value, the cryptocurrency also drops in value. So you have to, there's a lot in this industry. It's even to the pro stock traders in analysis. Most of them still have no idea what this is, and it's it's a long-term game, folks. If you think you're just gonna come in here and make a quick buck, sure you can, sure, but in the long run, will you? Most likely not. You might last 2 months. I'll give you that. But in the end, if you're just in here for the money, I'm going to tell you right now, just to save yourself some time, probably would be better to do something else, because you're going to get really, really disappointed, right? Because, what was it, like one of the coins that I held, if I would have cashed out already, I would have made almost 6 grand. But, I became greedy, I became a pig. So now I got to wait for it to retrace, go back down, and then go back up again, just like I did IOTA. But like anything in life, the more you learn, the more you earn, the more you help other people. Other than that, folks, if you like this, subscribe, comment below, let others share, like. It just helps you to get noticed more and stuff like that. And hopefully I can do more of these. Now I'm back in my routine, stuff like that. Just got back from Georgia. It's an amazing vacation. Got to see my parents. and the dogs. Other than that, but remember to achieve everything and have a blast out there. Peace.